Hello, in this episode of Reality Inspires with Ashley Inspires, we go into unraveling the meaning of the changing of seasons and what it is to go in word when a new relationship is blossoming and take your power back from the anxious attachment that wants all of it all at once, and to really just allow this space to reconnect to yourself and get the clarity that you need so that you know that everything is coming to you in good, orderly direction. I hope you enjoy this episode. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, engage, share, whatever you feel called to do. Hello and welcome to an episode of Reality Inspires with Ashley Inspires. We are back in this beautiful home that I house sit for two little kitties, and I love this fireplace, and it is Dia de los Muertos, so celebrating the life of our loved ones that have gone beyond the veil, that have transitioned, that have moved on, have transcended and moved on to their next iteration of life, and calling them in great spirit, the highest vibration of my light, connecting and tuning in to my love tribe, and calling all spirits known and unknown that are of love and light to come and join us for this episode of Reality Inspires with Ashley Inspires. Okay, so I wanted to start this episode off with a poem that I wrote, and it's interesting. My writing tends to come when I am creating a post, and I also find it really time consuming, and then at the end of it I'm like, well, this really nice little poem came out of it, so I'm glad I spent the time. And I'm really glad I got to spend the time. I did a compilation of, I don't know how many photos, but it's called Seasons Seasoning. Unraveling, unrest, a series of softenings, unjust, ingest. I claim my name as tribute, no more shame, mind making blame. Illusory self, a fear-based game. Allow past seasons' pains to be purified and washed away by the tears of tame. Leaves crumble to nourish earth's soil. Toil doubles when left to boil and bubble. Midsummer's puck, egoic entity, is out of luck when you become the observer of its mucky muck. Nature's impulses and organized chaos. Peas bottoms, good, orderly direction ethos. Frozen ground, eliminate root rot. Reinvent what you were taught. Seed renewal for spring's awakening. Mind made malleable, stake your claim. Own your game, reprise your fame. Cherish your name. Now go fuck around and find out. And that comes to me in this season, this transition of fall. And I love autumn, and I went back east to Pennsylvania, where I'm from, and had such a time organizing my field. I have this greater awareness now of where I need to focus my attention. I have a greater appreciation for the change of seasons, and that appreciation comes from these cycles of life, of this life and death and rebirth and regeneration. Just like all of nature, it blooms and blossoms and springs and warms and lushes all over the place, and then comes the wilting and the internal, and we go within and we go deep. And that is like the metaphor that I'm taking from it, is that this season is about you. Is we go deep and we go within yourself, and really just finding that true north and that centeredness that I truly want to cultivate in my life, especially as a historically conditioned person to, I would say, repeating patterns, and patterns that aren't super beneficial to your life, patternings that are that of a self-condemning nature. I have spent a lot of time, a lot of brain power hurting myself in an emotional way. And I don't want to identify with that anymore. I really want to be a good person, and I really want to have good relationships, and I really want to have satisfaction and joy and bliss and love every day in my life, and so should you. And how I'm working on cultivating this is through the power of presence. And if you work with me, I have a coaching program called CC 360, and in this program is the way of being, of the way of living. It's inspired living. And in that, you have to show up for yourself. You make agreements with yourself. It's like a contract. What are you agreeing to? And I'm telling you, you can literally put anything down. But what this is cultivating in you is a sense of trust, a sense of well-being, a sense of purpose, a sense of knowingness of your decisions being the right action, and that action giving you the result that you desire, and you fulfilling your potential because you have these agreements. In the past, I have also been like anti-goals. Like I don't want to set any goals for myself. And there's been a lot of some anti-committal, like non-committal agreements that I've made of like, oh, I'm not gonna have sugar. Oh, but this thing is there, and so I'll eat that. Or, oh, I'm gonna try the Whole30, but I'm gonna be flexible with it. Or I'm gonna try this thing, but I'm not gonna go all in. And not going all in is really selling yourself short, is really only setting yourself up for lackluster, for what's the feeling for me? The feeling has always been along the lines of, I can't fail if I didn't give it my all. Is that true? Yeah. If I didn't fully commit, then I'm not super invested, and so therefore I didn't lose. I didn't fail. Yeah, ever happened to you? Do you know the feeling? I imagine if you're here and you found me here, there's something that you resonate with. And that's my goal with Reality Inspires, is to take these observations that I'm having in the world and put them into words that speak to you, that are relatable. And in my writing, as you saw, I've been doing the unraveling, and in the unraveling, there's been an illusion, and the illusion is the sense of self that is doing something wrong or is bad or has doubt or fear, or is the ego running the show. And the ego, when the ego is running the show, I compared it to Puck in Midsummer's Night's Dream. And Puck is chaotic, and Puck is the mischievous, and a little bit of the what's the word I'm looking for? A little jestery, a little just a little spark, and disorganized, and like I said, chaotic. So then you have, that's the ego, right? That's the egoic mind. The egoic mind is, it thinks it's helping, but it's really just kind of putting up an affront to fool you. It's trickery. Puck is the trickster. Your ego is the trickster. And it's not until you can see that it's the trickster that you can call it out on its bullshit. Calling it out on its bullshit is a challenging place to get to, because you believe that these parts of you are you. You believe that these opinions that you have and this patterning that you have is really just who you are, when actually it is not you. It is it's your mind tricking you. It's the illusory self that you are this way of being. This is your belief system. This is all, like, this is how you are. This is how you have to be in the world to either protect yourself or to navigate your specific circumstances, which is not true. In fact, you want to adapt more of the peace blossom, which is the nature's beautiful, good, orderly direction, which is God. And it's wild and it's free, but it always comes back to its center. It knows its center and then orients from its center. My practices of prayer, hypnosis, meditation, listening to binaural beats, listening to affirmations and sound healing is how I keep my center. And if I'm not sure where I stand, I get those thoughts on page. That notebook opens up. It's sitting right here. This notebook opens up, and I take my magic wand and I write down what is going on up in this dome. And it's not, and especially when it's not good stuff. I found a little crook in the craw, and this crook was really, oh yes, on Halloween, it was a lot of insecurity was coming out, a lot of self-doubt was coming out because I wanted to hear from somebody. And I wasn't hearing from them. I had reached out and called and left a message, and I hadn't heard back from them. And I wanted to hear back from them, because if I had heard back from them, then that might mean something. Like, I keep checking to make sure like these flowers aren't on fire. It would mean that maybe they would be interested and we have like a little thing going. And so I got that stuff out on paper. And what I really had to check myself with was that it was all really beautiful. When we were in the togetherness, and all of that was so special and so connected and so kismet and so like just joy and fun and play and excitement and new, and we were there together, like in that. And then, you know, you go your own separate ways, and then, you know, tick, 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 the clock's not, you know, they're not texting, they're not calling. And I've pointed this out in other relationships with girlfriends, and like just girls that I love and care about like a sister. And if they don't get back to me right away, there is none of that. I don't usually care. I really don't. I'm like, hey babe, love you, great time, can't wait to see you again, let's connect. And I've also had other female friends do the same thing to me, and sometimes there's not a reply, and it doesn't mean that I don't not like them, or it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's not that our hangout wasn't great, it's not that I didn't enjoy my time with them. It's kind of that I'm just in it and I'm doing something, and I still love them. So it's interesting to then observe when I have romantic feelings for somebody and they're not replying back to me, where my head goes. Oh, it was like, you're this, you're too much of that. It was probably that thing you said, and you said that other thing, and that was probably a little weird, and they probably just don't know what to make up about you, and it was going off. In the middle of me writing this, I get a text message that says, hey, been on flights all day, had like 2 or 3 connecting flights, just got in, can I call you shortly? And I was just like, okay, there it is. There's the puck. That's the puck. That's causing the mischief. It's making you wrong. And also, my familiar patterning is to be in that state of not good enough. It's not you. They're not choosing you. It's a state of, what is it for me? It's the insecurity comes out, all my doubts comes out, all my fears. It's like addicted to I don't want to say stress, because it's not really stress. It's addicted to the doubt. It's addicted to that worry that it's not going to work out, that you were so excited about it and it feels fun and it feels great, but it's not going to work out. I'm addicted to that. My mind Puck is addicted to that. And I don't want to live there anymore. And what I also know I'm addicted to is hey, what are you doing? What's that like? I want the reach out. I want the connection. I want to know that I'm on your mind all the effing time. But I also, in my journal, was like, I want someone who loves me, needs me, wants me, but also like has a life of their own and doesn't need to be messaging me 24/7, because it is also a very big distraction for me. I know that I get very easily distracted by those messages because I just want to reply in the moment all the time and give it right back to them. And then hours of my day are spent here. And it's like hot and heavy into the begin with, and then it kind of pitters off into nothingness. And I will say what feels interesting about this observation is that it's new. As long as I can stay center, as long as I can stay in my presence, in my godlike, good, orderly direction of this is my true north. I know what I'm standing for. I know what I'm asking for. And that it will unfold exactly as it's meant to, in good, orderly direction. That I do not have to reach for it. I do not have to have doubt about it. If it works out, amazing. But I truly also want it to be the best thing ever. If it's just a stepping stone to get to the other thing, I just keep saying this or something better. Like, this feels really good. This or something better. This is nice. This or something better. So, and I say that so that I don't get so hung up on the attachment of that anxious attachment wants to come out, because I have daddy issues. I had a dad that didn't want to spend time with me. And so I have spent much of my life, even a young girl, I was always seeking validation from the masculine presence. And I then am like, wow, I'm validated. This feels so good. And I also received a couple of messages this week from men in a different validation that I don't want. In more of a like, hey, you're a this. Somebody like went in and was a little, like a little over sexualized. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on here. It was just kind of, it would have maybe been hot if it was coming from a mouth that I knew and know and care for, but it was not hot. I was like, oh, this is not okay. This is a no. And I reported and blocked them right away. But I liked knowing that. I was like, oh, okay, so I'm seeking validation. I want to know that this person really cares and likes me. And then I get all these other validations from like these other people that I'm like, no. And I think anytime you can come up against those clarifications, anytime you can get that clarity, it's really informative. And you're receiving really good information about yourself, and you're clarifying to yourself, to the world, your universe, as to what you do want. And I asked for something easy and slow and nurturing, and I'm like, okay, is this that? Is that what this looks like? Does this look like that? Like, yeah, I want him to call me and talk to me for hours on end, and then I'm like, well, not really, because I got shit to do, and I hope you do too. So saying your piece, blossom, and know that if it is meant for you, it will find you. You do not it will just happen. People say it all the time. It just happened. It just happened. And I think that is where I want to live, is in that ease and in that presence, that what I am asking for is just happening. It's just unfolding easily and effortlessly, exactly as it is intended to be. So far, they're already like, check, 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 check. I'm like, okay, all this is checking out. These are all my other checklists. But now there's this new thing coming in. This new thing is like, I'm not getting the around the clock communication, which is fine, because I don't know, what year, 30, 40, 30 years ago even, and before that, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, you couldn't talk to your loved ones 24/7. You had distance between you, and you had landlines, and you had letters that we would have to wait to get mailed to each other. And I think that's pretty great. I love that. But oh, maybe this is like a fun little old school little love thing, where it doesn't come on hot and heavy. It builds, and it's sweet, and it's tender, and it's genuine. And so staying in that genuine, patient presence, peaceful presence, is where I want to stay. I just want to pull out this poem I wrote a little bit and just make sure, just see what else I brought in here. So the toil doubles, right? So toil is the work that you're putting into something, and it doubles when it's left to boil and bubble. And so it's just bubbling beneath the surface if you keep doing the work around it. Toil doubles when it's left to boil and bubble. So if you're not tending to the boil, like I was having all these thoughts that were going on, like, is it what does it mean, blah 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 blah. And I was like, this is annoying. I have no patience. I'm not here for this. As you dig in and start doing work like this, these excavations of yourself, you begin to notice like your tolerance for the BS just lessens and lessens. And I was like, I have to get this out on paper. And I got it all out on paper. And then the bubble simmered, because I was able to just like be like, it doesn't mean anything about me if this person doesn't call me tonight. It doesn't mean anything about me if this person doesn't text me every day. Before I met this person a couple weeks ago, I was fine. I didn't need attention from anybody. So that's an important thing to recognize. And I wonder why that is, like when there is that initial attraction and we want their validation, what is that bit of anxiousness that comes out? It's a trigger from your past circumstances. And I am at a place where I'm like, I don't want to repeat any of these old relationship patterns. I want it to be new. I want it to be fresh. It's important to stay in your center, because you're excited about it. You're going to talk about a new relationship and you're going to be pumped, and other people are going to put their input. That's the thing about sharing, is when people are like, hey, how was the day? And then you share and they're like, oh my gosh, amazing. Sounds good. Then they want to know more. You have, oh, they didn't talk to you. They didn't call you. They didn't this. They didn't that. Oh, well, when I was in it, it was like hot and heavy. And I heard that. And I was just like, oh, is it not? then maybe it's not. Maybe it's not a thing. And I'm just all excited and it's not a thing. And okay, maybe. And I just come back to my center and I'm like, well, it felt really good when we were together, and I'm just gonna hang on to that. And whenever we talk again or make a plan again or do the thing again, I'm open to it. And it's very empowering to take that place. And it's very important to not let other people's opinions or experiences imprint onto your experience. This is your experience. This is your little whatever it is about, but in this scenario, it's your romantic story. It's the story of you creating a new relationship with yourself and fortifying that trust within yourself that what was felt is real, your experience of it was real, is real, and it doesn't need to all of a sudden be an all around the clock texting back and forth and back and forth and back and forth throughout every day. Sure, that's nice. I like that too. But I've also had that, and it blossoms into something and then it's not a thing. And it's just the cycles of relationship are important to observe your past cycles of relationships. And I'm observing my past cycles of relationships, and I'm not saying that just because they even are texting me around the clock is that it's going to work. I'm open to this new way of like, oh man, it's so fun when we're together and I can't wait until we're together again, but it doesn't mean I need to text you and call you every day until that day comes. I'm TCBing over here. And so are you. You're busy. You got stuff to do. And I love that. I love that for us. I think it feels like a good place to be. So let's hang out in that. Hang out in the knowing that your center, your calibration is good, orderly direction. Trust that it is meant for you. Trust that what is meant for you is coming to you. And if it's not this relationship, it is something better. If it is not this experience, it is something better. Don't allow your anxious attachment to run the show. Don't let your puck get in there and start playing tricks on you, giving you self-doubt, giving you the fear base that is that like, oh, this isn't going to work, or you're without something, or oh, they're not reaching out, so it must mean it's a no. And that certainly also has signs of being a no. But I feel like you kind of know when it's a no. I think I would know if it was a no, and it's not a no yet. And hopefully it won't be, because it's fun and I like it. And I like this person. So we'll see where it goes. But we're flexible. We're playing slow and loose. Not fast and loose. We're slowing it down. And that's what I wrote. I was like, with my magic wand, I was like, let's be friends. Let's be cool. Let's really get to know each other. And you get to like trust your rhythms and honor that space as individuals. It's a beautiful thing. I like that. So, Midsummer's puck, egoic entity, is out of luck when you become the observer of its mucky muck. Yes. The puck is not you. Puck is a mind-made egoic entity. It's exactly what Puck is. And he plays in the mucky muck. He plays in the stuff, in the low-hanging fruit that he knows is going to get you. He knows is turning up your depression, your anxiety, your insecurities. But that's not you. That's him, them, playing a trick on you. Because they're a trickster. Getting that tomfoolery. So to rise above, organize, show up, be present with yourself, know your self-worth, know what it feels like. For me is like staying grounded and rooted within my center. The other stuff, when I start to wonder and if and how and who and when and where and blah, 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 that's when it gets cloudy up here. That's when it gets disjointed. That's when it doesn't feel fun anymore. And life and experiences and love and romance and intimacy should be fun, should be playful, should be new and experiential and experimental. So play in it. And I'm cruising. We're cruising right now. We're just like, I'm trusting that I don't need to be worried about what I said or didn't say or do or not. Don't worry about that stuff. It's not your job. Your job is just to stay home, stay in your heart, stay in your center. Now, when the seasons change, the leaves crumble to nourish Earth's soil. The frozen ground eliminates the root rot. So these insidious thoughts, we turn inward. We get to see where that root rot is. We get to see where our thoughts and our belief systems are not serving us anymore. They are sabotaging us. They are not who we want to be in this world. They are imprinted onto us from other people's stories, other people's experiences, your past history with this kind of relationship or whatever it is, or how you've done things in the past. Be open to the new. Seed the soil for spring's awakening. Seed renewal for spring's awakening is what I wrote, because we need to reinvent what we were taught. What were you taught? Well, some of us had parents that really didn't love us the way we felt we needed to be loved. And so we have we have anxious thought patterns, we have doubt, we have the fear, everything comes up, all the ugly wants to come out and play, all the demons, all the darkness. And that's fine. But look at them. Invite them in for tea, darling. Oh, and that's what I did. I was like, oh, come on. We got to write this out. I see you. Because I wasn't pacing, but I was doing stuff like little house sitting. So it was like taking care of the cats, I think. And I was just like, Baba, maybe it was this, maybe it was the that, and there was the this, and there was the that, and and I was like, hey, I've been traveling all day. And I was like, I didn't need to worry about any of that. And I did. Dang. And then, of course, I'd be like totally stoked if they decided to text me today and was like, yo, just thinking of you. I hope you're having a great day. And I'd be like, wow, thank you so much. That was amazing. And I don't need that validation. Part of me wants that validation, because then it's like, got him. I get the little hit of dopamine. And I like that they're not necessarily giving me that dopamine, because then I feel like I get to really find out if the feelings they're deep enough, if they're authentic. Mind made malleable. Mind made malleable. So the mind is malleable. The mind, the neurochemistry of a brain, the neurotransmitters, it's all malleable. We think we have a set of beliefs and that's the way it has to be and that's the way it has to go, but it's not. It is malleable. We can create a new, and that's what I'm doing in this new relationship. I am just when I see that I want to go out, I'm just calling myself back to center. Like, come home. This is exciting. We're excited. We're very excited because it's been a while since you've been interested in someone. It's been a while since there's been this kind of connection and interest. And so, yeah, the excitement is real and the excitement is fun, but stake your claim. Own your game. Don't let your game run you. Don't let Puck run the show. Reprise your fame. So honor your name. I said cherish your name, but honor your name. Honor you. Honor you as a sovereign being. Honor you and your autonomy as an individual, your independence. Because that's what I've also noticed is like, I want you now, and then we get into the like, we're talking every day, and then I'm kind of like, okay, back off just a little, back off a little bit. Sometimes, not always. So it's like finding that balance, finding that harmony within you, and trusting that you are satiated within the connection to yourself, because that is truly where your love is going to come from, especially when you are in love and loving someone else. It's super, that the power comes from loving yourself first. And guess what? That's also way more attractive, is when you're loving yourself. It's like, oh, that's hot. They love them. They care about them. They're taking care of themselves. I think self-care is so hot. Like, show me you're taking care of yourself. Show me that you're showing up in your life. Show me you're taking care of business. That's sexy. Very sexy. Okay? So, I leave you with that. Trust and know that you are loved. Trust and know that everything is unfolding in its own beautiful timing. And claim what you want. Claim what you believe in. Claim your name. Own it. Own your game. Don't let Puck run the show. Trust in your good, orderly direction. This has been another episode of Reality Inspires with Ashley Inspires. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And engage with me. Let me know what's going on. Let me know how you relate to this. Let me know what feels fun and what you want to hear more about. And we can go deeper and deeper and deeper. Because I'm just here I just want to support you and serve you and share the experience that we are all going on in some way or another. And I trust that if you find this, you are going on a similar journey somewhere there's something that you relate to. So have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, wherever you are, and I will talk to you real soon.